Hey everybody, Sean Holsinger here from holsingersflyshop.com. Bringing you another fly time video, and this week it's probably my go-to wet fly. It's the Partridge and Flash. If you followed me for a long time, I love wet flies. It's the way I was originally taught to fly fish. And along the lines of, along the years of wet fly fishing, I've got to learn some different patterns and stuff. And one of those was a pattern which I already made a video of, and that was my Partridge and Flash video. It was a pattern that I've kind of copied off of Tom Doman from Penns Creek up in the middle of Pennsylvania, a great stream up there, and he's a long-time wet fly fisherman. It was a pattern he shared with me. And over the years, I've kind of tweaked and twisted and transformed his pattern into this one. And this is kind of, for a while, I was calling this my Partridge and Flash because I always tied it with partridge, but and it's flashy. But I had to change the name because I already had a video, Partridge and Flash, and I tie it different now. So you can tie this with partridge. Brahma hen works great too. In this video, I'm going to use a hen cape, a whiting hen cape. This is medium dyed done. And like I said, I have that cape and it works great for it. And if you've tied much with partridge, you know how finicky it can be, and it's hard to get it the right length. It's hard to get feathers small enough for small flies. I'm going to tie this in a 14 for the video quality to get a little bit bigger fly on the video, but a lot of times I'm fishing this clear down to an 18. Typically I'm fishing it in a 16 or an 18. Why I will say that usually if I have a wet fly rig on, one of them is going to be this fly. Just to catch the fish's attention, have something a little bit flashy out there, grabs the fish's attention, and then it's usually whatever the hatch is coming off. If it's blue-winged olives, if it's red quills, whatever, I'm going to match the hatch. On my point fly, my dropper fly is going to be this fly here. So I have caught a lot of fish on this, and I've guided a lot of guys with this fly, and I've caught a fish. So a lot of fish. So give this fly a try. It's been kind of a little secret of mine that I'm more than willing to share with you guys. I like to fish it, and I'm sure you will too. So enough talking. Here you're going to see the fly and then the material list to tie it. Okay, here you see the Partridge and Flash in the vise. Let's get into tying this deadly little wet fly. For a hook, I'm using a Firehole 609. This is a size 14. I tie it down to 18s. I fish them in 16s and 18s mostly. For video, I'm going to tie it in at 14 here. And for thread, I'm using 70 denier UTC thread purple. Now I'm going to put a tail on this one. Sometimes I put a tail on it, sometimes I don't. I don't think the tail makes a huge difference, but I've caught fish with it both ways. For the tail, what I'm using is 4 strands of Glow Bright. I just take one big long piece of Glow Bright thread, this in purple for this fly, and I bend it in half and bend it in half again, which gives me 4 strands. So then I want to go about half the length. My tail, I want to be about half the length of the hook shank. And just cut that off. Then I'm going to take a piece of Flashaboo, and this is Pearl Flashaboo. And with this, I put it on the side or the top, whatever. And then just wrap it right back to that tail. And wrap it back forward. With this purple thread underneath it, it's going to get a nice purple hue to it with that pearl, and just nice side by side wraps. You can over wrap a little bit. Oops. You can also use mylar tinsel on the spool. Put it in your bobbin, and use your rotary vise and wrap this up real quick. But it's not that hard this way. So once I get that wrapped up there right behind the eye, then I make a couple of wraps to tie it off. And now you don't have to do this step, but I like to put Solarez bone dry on it, because if you don't, couple fish, the trout's teeth will tear it up. It'll either break or it'll come unwound. This just helps keep all of it in the same place. So the next material I'm going to use is some ice dub purple from Hairline here. It does not take much. I'm just going to dub this on here real tight. Wet it a little bit with my fingers to get it even more tight. And then I'm going to make a little ball for the thorax here. Make a nice little ball of purple. And then we're going to come in with the hackle. And for the hackle, I'm using some medium dyed dun hen hackle. When I originally started tying this, I always tied it with partridge. So use partridge or Brahma hen. Either one of those works great. I just have a whole skin of a cape of a dyed dun, and it works great too. So the trout really don't care. So I'm just going to tie that on there and make about 2 wraps, 2 good full wraps, and tie that off. I don't want to go overboard on it. I don't want too much hackle on there. So once I get that tied off and trimmed there, I'm just going to take my fingers, pinch all of my material backwards, and make a nice clean head here. And then whip finish. Don't get that head too big. Just push those fibers, get them leaning backwards just like that. And then of course hit it with a little bit more bone dry just to finish it off. And make a nice clean looking fly. And there you go, my purple and flash. This is a killer. One of my go-to patterns. Alright guys, I hope you like that pattern. It's been a great pattern for me over the years. And like I said, it's been an evolving pattern, and this is what it's settled on for the past probably 2 or 3 years now. This is the way I've been tying it. Sometimes I forget to put the tail on. Sometimes I do put the tail on it. I have them both in my box and they both catch fish. It doesn't matter if you have that the glow bright tail on there. If you don't have it, don't use it. That's fine. You're still going to catch fish on it. Have fun tying. And like I said, I started this fly out. It was more of a greenish color. It turned into a purple and it's caught a bunch of fish. I just experimented. I come up with it on my own, experimented, and it works. Do that. Have fun. Just remember the key points. Keep it thin. Keep it natural looking. Like I often say, humans are the only one with an obesity problem. Insects don't have obesity problems. Roll over rocks, they're all thin. So keep your flies thin. You're going to catch fish on them. And play around and have fun. Like, here you go. Who would have thought that a purple fly, what in the water is that brilliantly bright and flashy and purple? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But it attracts the fish's attention and gets it to bite. And I catch a lot of fish on it. So experiment and have fun. Just remember to keep it thin. Other than that, guys, if you need any of the materials, you know where to find it at holsingersflyshop.com. You can also find these flies for sale on our website too. So, or you can, if there's none on sale, just hit me up at holsingersflyshop@gmail.com and I'll tie some up special order for you. So until next week when I bring you another tying video, I'm Sean Holsinger.